Fences, we've got walls, we've got stakes, and we've got palisade walls. These kind of all fall under the same category. They can't really justify a tutorial all by themselves, because when I show you how to put one of these together, that's it. They all go together exactly the same, for example. So we've got fences, we've got walls, which assemble the same as the fences. We've got palisade walls, which assemble a little bit differently, and then we've got stakes. But they're all very repetitive things. You want lots of fences, you want lots of palisade walls, you want lots of whatever. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm just going to talk you through the basics. Let's have a look at the fences. Okay, so I'm going to pop out just a basic long fence here. There you go. Take extra special care. Very, very thin parts here, so you want to be careful popping all the little bits and pieces out. Basically what you've got is you have got a fence and you have got a fence post, and the two slots go together. It really is as simple as that. Pop that down, done. There you go, that's a fence. There's lots and lots of fences on here. There's actually a gate which slots together exactly the same way. It'll just be shorter with a different pattern. And you've got some shorter half fences, and you've got some broken fences, and this fence here has got like a broken part to it. But ultimately it is a post and a fence part, and these really bring your terrain sets to life. When you set yourself up a village or whatever it is you're putting together, and then you start to put all the fencing in, you put well in the middle and everything else, it really, really pops on the battlefield. Fences are one of my favourite things, and they're so simple to put together. That is a fence. Right, so let's have a look at a wall. Walls are the same as fences, except for they're stone. So I'm going to pop out one of these long bits here. And you can see that this wall is just the same idea. It is just a post and a fence, and some of the walls have got, like, I think this one might have, yeah, this one's got a little bit of damage hole there. Remember, don't chuck this away. On this sheet, you'll get lots of little bits of like scatter and rubble, especially around this broken wall here. And even between these two walls here, where we've got a different shape, you'll notice little bits that come out. These make great little bits of rubble. And when you've done that together, especially near the broken wall, scatter that in front, it looks fantastic. We do have a gate here, and funnily enough, it assembles exactly the same. A post straight into the gate and job done. Okay, so yeah, that's really, really cool. On this sheet here as well, we have got some scatter, some bits of wood that you kind of lean up against the fence, maybe the broken one, it's supposed to be mended. I don't know, yeah, so that is the walls. Really, really simple. Palisades, a little bit more different, so I'll show you how to do that. And there's two types of palisades on here. There's two of one type and one of another. So I'm just going to grab a standard one first of all. There we go. And if you look closely, there's lots of little bits to kind of pop out. Some are slots and some are just add a little bit of 3D effect to the wall by giving it a little bit of depth. But in its basic form, the normal palisade wall is two of these thin like struts, platform struts, sorry, just normal struts, spike struts, and then this little post in the middle. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this like this, where the slot is, you're going to take it from the back of the wall and you're going to pop it through until the whole of this slot arrives through the top, and then you're going to bring it back, locate it down and pull it flush, and that gives you your support at the back. I'm going to do the same on this side. And then last but not least, because the wall is a little bit top heavy or forward heavy, you just slide one of these little posts in here, and that's it. You've got this really nice and solid little palisade wall. very, very simple. You'll notice there's also some clip areas on the side here. This is so that if you've got multiples of these, you can have them at any angle. Obviously, you can have these set up any way you like. If you've got a particularly long wall and you want it all clipped together, you can actually use your Battle Systems clips to actually clip these into place as well, which is really, really good because obviously the clips are quite versatile. You've got right angles, you've got some 135 degree stuff, you've got some straights, you've got some T-junctions you could do some stuff with. So yeah, a lot of options there if that's what you want to do and you want a permanent solid setup. Okay, let me just pop out another one of these, and then I'm going to pop out, instead of using the straight clips, I'm going to pop out these platform struts here, and this platform and the ladder. So okay, so here's the parts for your palisade wall when you're going to put a platform behind it. Popped out all the rungs of the ladder. Remember, keep hold of this as scatter. Keep it in a little baggie somewhere. It's really, really good. You can scatter it on your battlefield like flock. I guess it brings everything to life. So this still assembles in the same way as the last palisade wall. The difference is that you've got an extra piece on here which you're going to slot this platform in, and it just means that you need to kind of jiggle this one around a little bit. It's going to pop through, and you're going to send the whole thing through like that and then slot it down, and the same on this side. Okay, and we're going to put our little post at the front to stop it from falling over like so. You can have it round that way as well if you like, if you prefer that. And then you're left with these two large platform supports, two slots on here, and you're going to drop that in here. Like so, and then you've got this nice platform on top which you can basically have access to with this handy ladder. Okay, so basically there you go, that's it. Now you will notice on here that we've got this kind of angle here. There's only one of these per set of palisade walls, and we've got another palisade wall here on here, and so this is kind of a standalone platform. It's not meant to kind of be a long run, as it were. Also, if you have got multiple sets of these, later on we've got some sets which have got like multiple sets in. It means that if you might end up with sort of 2 or 3 or 4 of these. If you do want them all in one area, it gives you that ability to kind of have them set up like this, so that they can kind of go round corners as well. And you'll have, you know, various ladders and things for access when they're not going around corners. So yeah, that in essence, that is your palisade wall. And again, remember, you can clip these together if you want them to be, you know, even more sturdy, as it were, or not. If you're going to have a battlefield and you want to, you know, have one of these, you know, knocked down, it'd be easier not to have them clipped down, because you can kind of remove one to say, right, we've breached that wall in that location. Okay, so that is your palisade walls. So that only leaves us with the deadly stake barriers. And a bit like the palisade walls and the fences, you get 1, 2, 3, you get 4 or 5 of these on here, 4 full length and a 5th smaller one, and you've got some scatter spikes here which you can just like lean up against them or scatter them on your battlefield or throw them at your friends or something. Don't throw them at your friends. Yeah, so I'm just going to pop out one of these stake barriers and show you how to put it together, and it will be the same for everything else on this sheet. So I'm going to start down here. There you go. Be extra super careful when popping them out. There's some really intricate tooling around there. In fact, all of these sheets, especially the fencing, have got some really amazing die cut tooling on these sheets. When we first showed this to our manufacturer, this particular sheet, they had to take an extra swig of the old Gaffer Special Brew before continuing. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically, with these stakes, you'll see that there's kind of, you've got these little lugs here on both sides, and what you're going to do, you're going to kind of manipulate them in together so that they just pop over into their little slots. And then with this, you've got 2 options. You can have your stake barriers low like this, okay, or you can push them in sideways like this. You might need to do it along a little bit. And you can have your stake barriers high like that. It's entirely up to you which way you want to do it. But like I say, all of the stake barriers on here are assembled in the same way. Okay, so you've got your stake barriers, you've got your special Gaffer's Brew required fencing, you have your walls, and you have your Palisade walls. Like I say, you get lots of these on the sheets, and you know, when set up on your battlefield, they will really bring it to life. Super important ingredient in any terrain system.